A new wave of high-tech homes is exploding across the world. Homes that float. From aquatic apartments to barge conversions, and from the smallest of waterborne bungalows to the largest of floating mansions, thousands of people across the world now live in floating homes. This series explores the cunning design and the clever engineering behind these waterborne dream houses. From constructing their floating foundations,
you have to make this in one pour, seamless.
And designing their ingenious interiors.
I'm just going to shoot for the moon and see what happens.
To delivering the completed houses to their final moorings.
Looks shiny, hasn't snapped in half.
We'll follow the pioneers taking the ultimate plunge as they build their own incredible floating homes. Today, a couple convert this century-old cargo barge into a luxurious London pad.
With a wheel, which is missing, a radio, which is missing, a chart table, which is missing.
Transforming this rusting steel hulk will be a formidable challenge.
You have to open your imaginations because there's nothing at the moment.
But there's a lot to be done before the skipper can complete the maiden voyage.
The time to worry is when you see me panic.
Imagine this, right? You've spent your whole life completely obsessed by boats and sailing, and then you meet a partner who shares your passion, and the two of you then professionally spend your careers designing boats and ships. The perfect team, surely, to take on the complex challenge of converting an old Dutch barge into a luxurious floating home. No pressure then. Meet the Martins. Daria, Val and their son Eve. They spend some of their time living on a classic racing yacht called St. Christopher. Being on water has always been a vital part of this family's life.
Sailing has really been part of my DNA. I sailed with my father as a child.
I started quite early. My mother was pregnant with me when she did quite a lot of sailing herself. But when I am at sea, it's very gratifying. It's a feeling of elation. It's very powerful.
3-year-old Eve has already clocked up 3,000 nautical miles, but he's only going to get bigger. And St. Christopher is crammed.
1/3 of this boat is just an empty space because it's a classic racing yacht.
It's 50 foot worth of boat with 30 foot worth of living space.
As naval architects with both Belgian and Polish backgrounds, Val and Daria run their own internationally renowned boat and ship designing business. Although they have a desperate need for more room to grow as a family, they're not prepared yet to give up life on water.
Sailing, you're at the mercy of the waves, the wind, and sometimes the wind refuses. In many ways you're in control and you're not in control, and it's humbling and empowering.
They're planning to build a waterborne home they can moor in central London, where their business is based.
London is a design hub. It is a vibrant city.
And we need to be part of that circle to keep on producing our designs.
Important features include a working engine so they can sail their home around Europe, a multi-level living space, a light-filled dining room, and integrated home technology. The solution to their plan lies north, in the port of Harlingen, in the Netherlands.
Over and out.
Over and out.
This historic town has been a shipbuilding hub for centuries. The perfect place to rebuild this, a 30-metre-long steel-hulled cargo barge called Thor. Built in 1885, Thor has worked on the Dutch canals for over 100 years. Now a shadow of its former self, Val and Daria have bought this elderly boat for around £100,000. Their design will transform this classic barge into a contemporary 3-tiered floating home. Down in the old anchor store, will be a child's cabin for little Eve. This flows through to a massive open-plan living space for the family to enjoy. The middle level will have a modern minimalist kitchen. A new larger wheelhouse will raise the ceiling of the old engine room below, which will become the master bedroom. Next door will be a luxury ensuite. The crowning glory, a large and stunning dining room wheelhouse offering panoramic London views. Guests will get to relax in a private studio space. Val and Daria want to be in their floating home by summer. Dutch boat specialist SRF and their project manager Midas Janssen have the monumental job of turning the huge hulk of steel into a beautiful, light-filled luxury home. But he has got several £100,000 to spend.
The first time I saw Thor, I thought, wow, it's a beautiful ship, it's an old lady. I see why the customers will fall in love with her, and she's got great space for living.
His firm has spent over 40 years building all manner of boats, but the older the boat, the harder the job. Thor has already had one bad renovation, revealed as they peel back the layers of plywood and ancient insulation.
Well, this insulation can easily set on fire. Foam insulation is much better than this. This is just old school.
Midas has just 5 months to rebuild and transform Thor. It's brutal work. As the strip-out gathers pace, Val and Daria visit to finalise the interior layout.
Yeah, most of the interior is already out. So now you can see what the space is going to do.
This is the first time we see stripped out entirely. It was quite shocking to actually see her that way. And it is so much easier in many ways because we don't need to guess what dimension we need to take, and it's a white canvas.
Despite all the work that needs doing, there's a wealth of interior design possibilities.
The stairs down here is going to be great. We're going to make 2 big steps.
And what about shifting it to both sides in that case, and so have communication here and then stairs over here?
Val and Daria want to work with the heritage of the boat. The biggest challenge will be transforming the old wheelhouse into a sleek and modern dining room.
This is the control center of Thor, with a wheel which is missing, a radio which is missing, a chart table which is missing.
You have to open your imaginations because there's nothing at the moment.
What we are contemplating is to bring these partitions 3 meters further forward, an area to enjoy the visibility, enjoy the environment, have a 360 degrees sight on the river, London, or wherever Thor might sail.
The new wheelhouse, although much larger, must still complement the lines of the original barge. It needs to look good, fit like a glove, and not appear out of place. Well, if anyone can do this, it's these two exacting naval architects. It's being designed at their office back in London.
We thought this space would be great for just sitting, having a dinner and looking around, because this would be at the same level as the other boats, so it is an ideal place.
So what we have at the moment is about 5 to 8 square meters, depending on whether you count the seating area, and we intend to bring about 20 square meters of space.
On this drawing, you can see the white element here. That would be an original wheelhouse. This white dashed dotted line indicates the line of sight of a person that would stand in the wheelhouse and look all the way through the kitchen and the lounge located in the bow area. So are you happy where it's going?
It will be beautiful from the inside and really quite nice from the outside.
The The old wheelhouse has been removed, along with a section of the deck to accommodate the much larger helm. The new one must fit perfectly into the space created for it. It'll measure 6.5 by 3.5 metres, more than double its original size. It'll have 22 handmade oak windows to give them a spectacular 360-degree view of London. Back in Harlingen, it's going to take the team around 2 weeks to build the new wheelhouse frame.
We got a drawing, but not exact measurements. So here on the side with my co-workers, I was trying to decide how big the wheelhouse is going to be.
Leaving key decisions to Midas reflects the enormous trust Valendaria have in their project manager.
You're gonna have the wheelhouse, but I have to insulate the floor as well because we've got gold otherwise coming up. I got floor heating, and then I have to finish the ceiling, and I have to consider the steering wheel construction running from the ceiling and the flooring of the wheelhouse. So this is gonna cost some extra space as well. We have to do it right. You got one opportunity, and otherwise you have to change the whole structure, and that's going to be a pain.
Naval architects Valendaria Martin are converting a 19th century Dutch barge into a very cool new floating home. When complete, it'll have a large open-plan living space for the family, topped off with a panoramic wheelhouse for entertaining.
The prospect of extending the wheelhouse does pose a challenge.
To give themselves more room, they're expanding the floor space to more than twice its original size.
Our objective is to lengthen the wheelhouse and move it 2 to 3 meters farther forward. We will also increase the height by 10 centimeters.
Back in Harlingen, Midas's team continue with the build. The new wheelhouse will be built from 12mm thick steel panels. Below deck, Valendaria are planning something big for their ship's tiny anchor store.
Let's go in.
A very special room for their son Eve.
It's quite a good volume to make a little nice bedroom or box room or a little cozy spot.
So you would love the space, I'm quite sure.
And then hundreds of shelves so that all the toys can go out of the way and books.
Yes.
Although the space in the bow is small and awkward, Valendaria have come up with a clever solution. They'll partition off the first section to make a luxurious bathroom. They'll add a large roof light to bring in fresh air and sunlight, and fit a bespoke child's bed, perfect for 3-year-old Eve. As the build team pushes forward with the metalwork for the wheelhouse, another team fits the home's ultra-modern control system, and they get cracking with what will be almost 400 square metres of insulation.
They're going to spray the foam in with a spray hose, just like you're painting your car. And they're going to build up layers, and the foam will expand from when it's got air. Oh, that's it.
The layers of foam will create a wall of insulation between the chilly waters of the Thames and the living areas. It's also airtight and seals in the steel and wood, protecting them from damaging condensation.
After the foam installation, we will build up the interior in the kitchen and lounge, of course, and begin with the master cabin and the wheelhouse.
They fit more than 600 metres of battens to the interior of the hull to form its walls. It takes 250 hours of intense work to build the frame of the wheelhouse. Next task, lift it into place on top of the hull. It must sit in exactly the right spot. And the joint needs to be rust and paint free to make sure that the weld is watertight. They hook the dockside crane to this massive 3-ton hunk of steel.
So now we are going to lift the wheelhouse in the partition we have made and put it in place. Hopefully we have done the measurements right.
Just as the wheelhouse lifts off, the wind begins to push it in the wrong direction.
You can see what a little bit of wind does with a wheelhouse like this.
With the wheelhouse back under control, will it fit?
Bueno. Oh.
Success. The new wheelhouse will not only create a smart lobby and dining room for the home, but also a bridge from which to helm the boat when they want to set sail.
So, bit of fine tuning, but I already can see that it's in place.
It's a huge relief. I thought it was about time I paid a visit to the Netherlands. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, Mark.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
The look on your faces suggested you were in deep thought, looking at Thor. Which is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Absolutely. Well, the superstructure just came in, so now the floating home has a castle on the top.
But actually, that's quite a big challenge in terms of making it look right. It'll be lovely on the inside, and you'll be looking out, and it'll be a great view, and all the rest of it. But everybody else who's on the quayside will be going, oh dear, what happened there?
Well, it's the presence is quite, overwhelming.
Okay.
What I find a little bit difficult is the line, so the continuation of the line from the stand to the mid superstructure.
This space here should continue that line, especially that is also present in the forward superstructure. So for us as designers, we have to make sure that everything speaks together.
It is a developing project.
So here we come inside.
Below deck, the layout is starting to take shape. I was going to say it's very green in here, but is this part of your colour scheme? The stunning thing here is when you come down, and you're in here and you go, oh, that's very nice. And you will see further into the ship when you're finished. And it's like you're having a conversation, and then as you just turn around, suddenly seeing that is such a dramatic surprise. You don't expect it.
From there to see nearly through the entire interior.
I thought, when I kind of first heard about your project, that as naval architects, you would have a completely fixed perspective on this boat. You would have designed it, everything done, handed that on a memory stick to Medata and said, build it, get on with it. But what I'm getting is a sense that you do a bit, you come in here, you walk around, and suddenly the space starts talking.
Yes, I think it's very important to actually spend some time in the space that we are going to design, to try to imagine ourselves living in that space, how it will function.
Their visit has calmed any fears they may have had and will help them plan for the next stage of the build. Maybe a little putting green.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
not.
That's a no to the putting green then?
Absolutely.
In terms of the overall project, who is the boss?
Daria has a very keen eye for the aesthetic balance. Daria also a really strong sense of how things should be managed from a decisional, financials and organizational point of view.
So hang on a minute, that is pretty much most of it. What do you do?
I do fantastic pancakes.
Val and Daria need to head back to London as there's still a huge amount of design work to do, and Val has pancakes to make. The priorities are to resolve the sightlines on the wheelhouse and finalise the interior. The build needs to be done and dusted in 100 days. Now, given this project has been the personal dream of two naval architects, I've always been a little bit surprised about their touchy-feely approach to the build. Now, rather than impose their own ideas, they've always been adamant they wanted Thor to tell them what to do. But is that approach working? It's 6 months since the build began, and the appearance of the once rusting hulk of floating steel has changed dramatically. Midas's team has partitioned the rooms and fitted them out with electrics and utilities.
We've got 1.5 weeks still. We have to deliver the boat to Valendaria. Still a lot of things to do. The guys are making long days, but I'm positive that we're going to make the time frame. Through all the whole way, we find difficulties and structural problems, but they had the budget and the will to carry on, and it resulted in a very nice ship, I think.
When complete, Thor will be moored almost 300 miles away in London on the River Thames. Living on the river has never been so popular. The number of houseboats registered to be moored in the city has increased by 60% over the past 5 years, from modest houseboats to million-pound mansions. A hotspot for London waterside living is here at St Catherine's Dock near Tower Bridge. This is where Valendaria will moor Thor. A stone's throw away from here, the Martins have some final decisions to make. From flooring to bathroom tiles to the crucial issue of getting the balance of natural and electric lighting just right.
Eve's room is going to be here. There's an ensuite bathroom, and the whole space is very compact and can just about fit a child.
So the room has a built-in bed, which is slightly raised. There's a little bit of space underneath. That bed is located on port side. A lot of attention has been devoted to the ceiling lights, and every single one of them have a full spectrum of colors, so they're not just warm white, but they can be changed and managed remotely.
Yes.
I get excited about these
Valge
things.
but he's fanatic about lights. He has the whole cabinet with different bulbs and alternators.
Over in the Netherlands, Midas's team is in a frantic race to complete and fit out the build. They lay wood laminate over the underfloor heating system and install the infrastructure for the tech that will run the home's lighting and heating. They tile the ultra-cool wet rooms, and they've transformed the old dark storeroom in the bow. New portholes and an extended roof light flood Eve's new bedroom with light. There's attention to detail everywhere. The bespoke doors are made from scratch and varnished in a dust-free environment to make sure there are no blemishes. They sand the walls to perfection before painting.
And after it's painted, we're gonna do the final touches, so as the sockets, speakers, downlights, switches, and some final touches on the flooring and the hatch.
The centerpiece of Thor's upper deck now has its final shape.
Doria was really worried about keeping the lines in the ship. She was a little bit afraid it's going to be too big. We're just trying to make it more curved in the front, so it's got a little bit more of a shape in it.
The old ship's wheel is the only original part of Thor's wheelhouse they could salvage.
We've made the wheelhouse much longer and wider. The old wheelhouse was from here, so we have gained almost 4.5 meters. So it's going to be a much bigger and open area which they can use for dining, but also it's still the center of the ship where they will have to operate the ship when they're cruising along.
They've limited the colour palette to black, white and non-slip grey for the decks to maintain the flow of the lines and highlight the detail. After 7 months of complex remodelling and a luxury fit-out, Thor is ready to take on the North Sea and the journey to her new home. With Valendaria too busy with work, responsibility for bringing their precious new home across rests with skipper Chris Hanley and his wife Helen.
We're just about ready to go. The engine's started. We're all singled up and ready to slip out of here and then on our way. The weather isn't as good as we would like. We can't leave with a forecast of more than force 4, so we want a nice gentle wind. That's got to last for 2 days really. It's a 30-hour crossing. The biggest single factor about doing this crossing is the weather. Don't go out in anything which is in the least bit inclement. You have to take the weather into consideration all the time.
From Harlingen, it's a 290-mile journey. Chris will take Thor across 2 huge inland lakes, IJsselmeer and Markermeer, and on to Amsterdam. Then through a network of narrow canals all the way to the coast. Once there, he must sail the boat across the North Sea, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, and a journey that Thor was never designed to undertake. Finally, Chris needs to navigate the strong tides of the Thames estuary and guide Thor through the city's busy shipping traffic to her new home near Tower Bridge. And they're on their way.
Give the lockkeeper a wave in a moment.
It takes 4 hours to travel the 8 miles to Lake IJsselmeer. This is a vast expanse of water covering more than 400 square miles. Not as open as sea, it's still exposed to the wind and waves. This will be a good test for the flat-bottomed boat. Thor has no keel. This makes sailing the barge and keeping it steady very tricky.
They're flat-bottomed. We are taking it out of its element and taking it to sea.
Unlike yachts that have keels to help keep them stable, Thor's flat hull is hard to control. Its shape is perfect for canals, but potentially disastrous when she hits the swell of the North Sea.
A flat-bottomed boat is designed to carry the maximum amount of cargo for the smallest amount of boat, and it won't take many very high waves for this thing to roll quite alarmingly. Also, it will skate sideways in any sort of wind.
It takes a further 13 hours to inch across the lakes and navigate through the canals of Amsterdam before Thor finally arrives at the gateway to the North Sea.
We're approaching IJmuiden. It's the sea lock where we actually meet the salt water of the North Sea. It's all slow, slow, slow. There you go. We're just waiting for the other boats in the lock to now get out of the way, and then we can be off. The locks are controlled by traffic lights. At the moment we've got a red light, so it's not much difference really to the North Circular.
With a green light, Chris now faces the biggest challenge of the whole journey.
The North Sea, and the next stop, London town.
Going at a steady rate, the crossing should take Thor about a day and a half.
Our maximum speed on flat, still water is about 6.1 knots. Take it out to sea and any sort of waves, and that will get knocked down to 5, maybe even less than that. Port control, Thor, we are outbound in the outer harbour at the moment, over. He's a bit of a big chappy, isn't he?
Port control, there's a deep draft vessel astern of you, over.
Yes, I have seen it, and I am staying on the south of the channel, over.
Yeah, come on to the south, sir.
That's a tanker, a pretty big vessel. There is a certain amount of might is right in this game, and he's definitely mightier and righter than we are at the moment. He has right of way over the deep water channel, and everything else has to get out of his way. There's another inbound vessel here as well, which is also going to cause a little bit of a problem, but we'll leave him on our starboard side. Suddenly shrinks into proportion that we are a very, very small vessel in the ocean. I tend to plot our position every hour on the hour. This gives me a sense of direction of where we are. And we're heading way across, around about here, and then we'll slip down through these channels here, and then into the River Thames and up here.
Chris has 215 miles to go, keeping Thor upright and steady. After another 26 hours of careful sailing, Thor is closing in on the Port of London.
Just a beautiful day now, flat sea, an empty sea as well. We're about probably 30 miles from the English coast now.
It's approaching 4 a.m. on day 3. Chris finally reaches the Thames Barrier, gateway to London.
We've been on the go now for just about 70 hours. We're all a bit tired and a bit jaded, but this is London.
With Tower Bridge in sight, Chris hits a problem.
With the tide, we haven't got any brakes. Therefore, we need to go up against the tide to be able to slow down. I'm going to have to turn around, and that's going to be entertaining because Thor's not the most manoeuvrable vessel in the world.
After steering past the mooring site, Chris attempts a U-turn to position Thor against the tide. This will slow the barge down and enable Chris to manoeuvre her home.
I have to go for it. I can't back out halfway. What we're trying to do here is not an easy operation. Well, we're halfway round, but we're going sideways up the Thames. I'm cool.
Nice job, Chris. All he needs to do now is to wait for the dock to open up. As day breaks and the gates of St. Catherine's Dock open, Thor heads to the berth.
Thor, St. Catherine's, go ahead.
St. Catherine, this is Thor. We are hoping to come into your first locking.
Yeah, what's that? You can please in the lock.
Chris needs all his years of experience to manoeuvre Thor into her berth at the marina.
I may seriously make a pig's ear of this. Hopefully it doesn't end in tears. We're in.
After 72 hours and 290 miles, Thor is finally home.
That has been a good result. Thor's in St. Catherine's Dock, all delivered, all successful, and I'm now going to bed.
In London, naval architects Val and Daria Martin have designed their own sleek and modern floating home from a 133-year-old canal barge.
Oh my word. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Now complete, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've done and checking out the 360-degree views from that new wheelhouse.
Morning.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. How
Hi.
you doing? Good to see you. Hi. Ça va?
Ça va.
Ça va bien.
Hello. Hands or tigers?
Yeah, it's a little
Yes,
tiger.
tiger,
today.
little tiger. Hi, Eve.
There
How
are
are
a lot
you?
of tigers these days, huh?
2 words. Very impressive.
She's big, she's beautiful, she shines a lot.
Amazing. To see Thor in this setting is incredible.
Yeah, no, she's stunning. We've come a long way.
Can I have a look inside?
Yes.
Perfect.
Welcome aboard, Mark.
Thank you. It's so big.
360 degrees vision
Oh,
underwater.
that's special, isn't it? The once dark and tiny wheelhouse has been more than doubled in size and is now a welcoming modern dining room with a working helm. You've kept it incredibly simple and straightforward in here. You could have gone completely over the top, but actually, you know, when you move around it, you have got a dining table, 8 chairs, and that's it. You enjoy the space.
We wanted to maintain the style of simplicity and serenity, and
We like the proportion. I think it works well.
I mean, this is simplicity itself as well, isn't it? You've trimmed this down to only the essential things you need to be able to actually command this boat.
yes, that's correct.
Because lots of people would have just said, too much hassle, all this steering and engines and all the rest of it. But that's not what you wanted to do. You
No.
wanted a boat that still worked as a boat that you could take anywhere.
Yes, it wouldn't be us, you know, having a boat which is only accommodation on water. We wanted her to stay an operational vessel.
While you're talking, I can see right to the stern and all the way pretty much to the bow. That was very much part of your plan, wasn't it?
Yes, and I invite you to sit on that chair.
So, I am now the guest at dinner. Oh, now I get it. Yes. This is the perfect height, isn't it? Here, you suddenly get a sense of just how big this ship is. And it is spectacular. So your conclusion about the Wheelhouse?
Well, we feel that after all the trepidation and anxiety with regard to designing it to the right proportions, we feel that both externally and internally it achieves and exceeds our expectation.
Yeah, it feels good. It delivers on so many levels.
It's nice for me to see smiles on your faces because the last time we were discussing the Wheelhouse, you were putting a brave face on it, Daria, but you clearly had big concerns about how it was going to work, and look at it now.
Yes.
It's spectacular.
Come on in.
Lovely.
So this is the kitchen.
The Wheelhouse leads down into a light-filled, practical galley with breakfast spa and all the mod cons you'd expect in a kitchen on land. Look at the amount of light and the windows again. I mean, it looks stunning, but does it work? Have you got enough storage, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, we have heaps of storage, a lot of concealed lockers, so we are hiding.
Of course. Of course, a laundry.
This is quite unconventional. It's different from a standard house, and it takes a different level of planning, which is the fun bit.
But it must be so lovely having all this space now.
It's dizzying.
Yes, it's almost overwhelming.
Not only is Thor incredibly long, but you just go deeper and deeper.
Yes.
And it's just lovely, isn't it? Another level.
So here we're forward of the boat and below the waterline, and effectively this is the ultimate comfort, the enclosed area where we're here to sit, read a book, watch TV maybe, and we're surrounded by portholes, so we don't have quite the same peripheral vision for the Thames, but at the same time at night we have a lovely view from the surrounding light.
Are these the original portholes?
That's correct, yes. They're all original.
They are lovely, aren't they? Even from standing here, just the reflections on the water outside is just such a calming thing to see, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's soothing, and what is really nice is when the sun is at the right angle, you have a reflected light glowing onto the ceiling, and that gives a sense of being alive. It's as, as alive as candlelight.
Yes, and it reminds you that you are living on the water.
So shall we get to the main purpose of this room, which is your tech? Well,
my tech, yes. Yeah. There's a lot happening on the boat. Behind the surfaces, we have the a server which connects to a wireless network and then gives us a central control of so many features of the boat. One of them is the heating and air conditioning, which we can control with an app, where, as you can see, we have the wheelhouse, the aft quarters, and for each zone we can choose the temperature. And there you go, I put it on 24 degrees, and within 20 minutes the underfloor heating will have warmed up the space so we can walk barefoot.
I mean, it's lovely to be able to control it from your phone, and why not? It's 21st century, isn't it? But you have actually hidden stuff. I mean, where's the telly?
The television is behind the panels.
So was that the compromise, though? That if you have tech, it needs to be subtle?
It have to be concealed, yes. We had this agreement that...
Stepping down from the living space and situated beneath the new wheelhouse is the master bedroom.
So this is the master's cabin.
Really, really lovely. And really good height.
That's correct. This is the reason why we had to raise the wheelhouse.
In the original configuration, this would be the beginning of the hold and the deck height located here, so this space did not lend itself to being a comfortable living space so far below deck. So what we have done is raise the actual side shell to slightly higher than where we are and introduce these pair of portholes either side in order to get a properly large self-enclosed bedroom with a bathroom behind you.
This is bigger than the bathroom I use in my house at home. Gosh, you must feel you're in heaven in here.
We had a tiny shared bathroom on St. Christopher. So here, moving from that step to a bathroom which is a few times bigger is a big thing.
So this is proper luxury in comparison?
Yes, absolutely.
Tucked away in the ship's bow sits the cabin of this vessel's real captain, Eve. Gosh, to have a bedroom like this when you're little, this is a proper den, isn't it?
Yes, a little hideaway.
And he's got his own little portholes as well?
Yeah, 2 little ones, plus the top one, which he likes the most.
Oh, that's lovely. So when he's in bed asleep, he can see the stars. That's so much better than painting them on the ceiling.
That's true, that's true. We'll just have to put an alarm system on this hatch, so when he's 18, we know if he's, if he's out and about.
No, honestly, that's
we know about it.
That is so perfect, isn't it? He just shuts the watertight door, opens the hatch, in come his friends.
Exactly. Well,
Perfect, absolutely perfect. So how long has it taken in all?
well, we stopped counting at 10 months, but actually there were 11 months plus a month of weather window. In reality, we did use that time to continue some of the lighter works still.
So what about the budget?
We largely stuck to our budget. We did go slightly above 10%, but it was sort of calculated in the overall exercise. As it happened with both of that age, usually when you open them up, you find something that we were not expecting. So it was wise from the beginning to have some contingency.
How pleased are you with the finished product?
I'm very pleased, without a doubt. There were moments of doubt and anxiety, self-doubt in the process along the way. And at the end of the day, look around.
And I think this project is very much us. So in that times, I think we achieved what we wished for.
So do you actually have to pinch yourselves now?
Yes, absolutely. I still can't believe she's here after so many months of waiting, anticipating, and now we're here. We can sit back and give ourselves a tap on the shoulder.
What's your favourite thing about Thor?
She's spacious, she's comfortable, she's generous, she's warm, she's simple.
And it comes with different elements of luxury. For example, the fact that we can now have China, as opposed to plastic cups because of weight saving on a racing boat.
So are you loving it?
I'm absolutely loving it. It's part of our life. It's like flying a spinnaker. You put a lot of effort, you have 10 guys sweating it, pulling ropes, brute force, and then suddenly, once it's hoisted up, it's quiet. You relax and you enjoy the journey.